investment merits, business overview, financial highlights, and growth strategies. Okay, short and sweet. Next, please. Okay. Look, okay, the first one is solid fundamentals. Before I go further, can I just ask the questions? Anyone of you from Perak or anyone of you from Ipoh? Raise a hand, please. All right, a few, good. Anyone of you been to Terminal Aman Jaya or take Perak Transit bus in Ipoh? Raise a hand. Okay, none. So, there's one lady there, thank you. So it's easy for me to answer your questions later on because most of you don't know. Okay. Okay, then what's the next questions I ask? It's like, okay, fine. So anyone of you, okay, the next question, anyone of you buy Perak Transit shares before? Okay, 1, 2. Do you all make money?
Yes.
Yes, you should. And to those who haven't, today is the day that you should look into it seriously. We were listed in 2016 October. Our listing price is 15 cents. And from there onwards, later on, I'm not sure you're looking into the charts. You can see that our share price move up, and today is 30.5. 30.5, yes. And during 1.5 years, coming to the second years, we're already giving up 5 times of dividends. I'll explain to you how much we give. We already gave bonus issues from our share premium. We gave free warrants, and our warrants today is around 14 cents. Am I right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so those who are with us since day one, your investments is like triple. All right, never mind. There's still a lot of opportunities. Okay, let's go in. What's our solid fundamentals? First thing is we are the only public listed company that has the exposure to bus terminal operations, not bus per se. Okay, bus terminal. I tell you why. I'll show you in terms of figures and facts why the difference is so big. Okay, and we have our business model is very high barrier entries. Highly regulated in a way, and however that is also plus and minus, pros and cons. The pros is when you have that in mind, the high barrier entries, you have steady incomes and it's recurring. Okay. Another thing is that we have a very good tax incentive. It's like to the manufacturers, it's called ITA, investment tax allowance, and to what we enjoy here is called approved service project status. All right, for this approved service project status, we are able to claim 60% of our capex to offset 70% of our taxable income. So, which means our effective tax yield is around less than 10%, 9 to 10. What does that means to dollar and cents? If you guys are very familiar with tax, any accountants here, what's the effective tax rate of a country is 24. Correct? Now corporate tax rate is 24. From 24 to 10, there's a 14% saving. This savings not only directly goes down to my bottom line, which is my profit, but save in terms of cash. Tax, you pay upfront, PCB. Every month you pay. Yeah, am I right? So if it's 24, you're paying 24, extra 14. If you're paying 10, you pay less 14. So that is directly cash saving. So from the cash savings that we have, we are able to generate good dividends. That's how we return back to our shareholders. So this is one key things, and we've been constantly paying around above 25% of our PAT. That's a policy that we have to pay 25% of our PAT as a dividend out. Last year we paid around 30%. Okay, and for our stage bus, now only we come to the bus. You see, okay, that's how we like to clear the perceptions. Yes, my Dato Sri start off as a bus in the bus operations, but he sees that bus operations is nothing sexy about. It's a very tough job and so forth, but in the land public transport, bus is the most basic land transports. Okay, what you have been hearing about here and there is the high-speed rail and so forth. These are the high-end one, but the basic mode of land public transport is still bus. Okay, this one won't go away. So we are still in bus, but however, this bus contribution doesn't really contribute much in terms of our bottom line. But how do we survive that in this industry, in the bus? We have 2 funds here. We call ISPSF, Interim Stage Bus Support Funds, and SBST funds. These 2 funds were able to generate bottom lines for us. For example, for the SBST, we call the SBST fund here is cost per vehicle kilometer run, which means that the government will pay me even on the day nobody comes up to my bus. Okay, it's a chicken and egg stories, and the way that how do you give confidence to the public that the people will take the bus, public transport, is to make sure that your bus is there on time or your bus apply the routes. You don't want to wait at a bus station and 2 hours the bus doesn't come. Then the next day the fellow won't wait for the bus. And that's how the government encourage the bus operation people like us to apply the route. It say that, okay, you apply the route, nobody comes up to the bus, I'll still pays you. So it's a cost plus to us. So what we do is we make sure we manage the cost and the plus. There's a contract sign here. So when the government provide this fund, frankly, the operations is able to sustain. All right. So these are our fundamentals in a way. For the growth drivers, if you look into it, what we will explain to you furthermore is that you see the best segment that contribute to the bottom line is our terminal. So in a growth driver, we will drive in terms of our terminal. We will build terminals and so forth. You guys are in KL, and I believe that you all understand that if you look into KL Central, it's a hub, terminal hub. All right, where all KTM, LRT, MRT all comes around, and monorail and so forth. But it's not only, it doesn't make money from there, but the KL Central makes money from AMP, makes money from the growth of the traffics, then you have the retails, you have the offices and so forth. So it's called TOD, Transport Oriented Development. All right, so that's how that we are supposed to grow forwards and so forth. Okay, next. Okay, these are some key statistics. As we said, this one is a little bit outdated. Today is higher. P ratio is around 10 plus, 12 to 14 is around there. Today is around 12.7. Okay, then dividend yield is 2.5%, but our policy is around pay 25% of our PAT. One thing that we are proud of is our PAT margins, 20 to 25%. We talk to the analysts and so forth. I wish that maybe some of you are analysts. I believe that there is not many companies generating 20 to 25% bottom line these days. It's not so easy. All right, we are generating that. We will explain to you how we generate that. We have total 171 buses. In 2017, we have 979,000 people that buy tickets from my terminal and go on to the bus. Okay, we track this because we have to give to SPD. Usually what goes up comes down. So it should be times by 2. We don't track those that come back, but we have that statistics, and usually what goes up comes down. So whoever goes up, whoever goes up to my bus will come back to my terminal. So usually roughly around 2 million people will pass by my terminal. Average around 4,000 people pass by my terminal every single day. That number is very important. I'll explain to you why. Just keep that number in mind. And we have 4 petrol stations. Yes, it's right, we have 4 petrol stations. My bus don't run on water, my bus run on diesel. So that is how we evolve into petrol stations. All right, so a petrol station doesn't really contribute much, but it just give you revenue on top. And also because we can have volume discount because our bus runs on diesel and so forth. Okay. And up to 2017, we have 108 million unutilized tax allowance. Remember what I just informed you just now, that practically our effective tax yield is 8 to 9%, which means this 108 is able to deduct we are able to enjoy the next 3 to 4 years at this rate. Okay? Okay, quick one. We start off, we have 3 segments here. We start off with our terminal. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about the pictures. It's not that clear. Okay, but this is how our terminal look like in Ipoh, in Meru Raya. Those who've been to Ipoh, those from Ipoh, this is our terminal Amanjaya. It's around 200,000 square feet. Okay, it's in Meru, which means every bus that goes in and out of Ipoh, they must go into my terminal to pick and drop their passenger. They cannot just simply drop people off anywhere. Okay, which means that that's how we get our 979,000 ticket people going in and out. Practically 2 million, sir. So because of the 2 million people that we have, the footfall, 50% of our revenue comes from AMP, advertising and promotions. Okay, advertising is you see advertising lah. So in KL, what do you all see? In KL, if you all look into your MRT poles right now, there's a lot of advertisement. I might be wrong, but this data was given to me by a friend who is in this industry. Do you know that this MRT poles and stations, you know what's the rental for AMP revenue a year? It's 50 million. So what's the cost to them? The pole, this pole is free already, right? So same goes to us. What's the cost of my wall? I will see, but if I leave it empty, I make no money. If I put an advertisement up there, it's just straight to my bottom line. All right, and how do I make sure I can sell that the advertising? Is because of footfall, traffic. All right, we have 2 million traffic, 4,000 people a day in and out. That's how you sell AMP. You know, in KLIA and KLIA2, you don't see much advertisement there. Their 1 year advertisement revenue is 40 million, I was told. Imagine that you don't see much advertisement, yet they can generate 40 million, and we are just generating around 12 million in terms of advertising only. So there's always room for us to grow there. Then 3% is on rental of shops and kiosks. Frankly, the rental and shop kiosks, the area there is not big in terms for us to. We didn't set up the rental leasable area is big, but we set a big concourse area for promotion activities and so forth. Then we have this 46% from project facilitation fee, where we give advisory and consulting to other people that on the building terminals and so forth. And 1% from people that coming in bus and taxi entrance. Every bus comes into my terminal, they have to pay me 6 ringgit. Okay, in 6 ringgit, out in 6 ringgit. So one day, practically, you can have around 300 buses that are coming in. Okay, then people come to parking and so forth. These are all my income. Go to my toilet is my income and so forth. So you generate incomes. But what's my cost there? It's just electricity and maintenance, and also my human resource now. So it's quite lean. The depreciation is 50 years, okay, and the finance is 5.5% and so forth. It's because it's collateralized. So you can see that the cost structure is very low. Okay, this is my tenancy rate. You can see my tenancy is well spread between where F&B is usually the biggest chunk, and practically the leasable area is around. You can see that it's around 50,000. It's not a very big one. But our next project, our leasable area is high. Okay. This is. Sorry, I'll just go quickly because practically there's a lot of slides. I'll just leave it for Q&A later on. This is on the numbers of people buying the tickets in our terminal in 2014, from 760,000 people to 979,000. You can see the year-to-year growth. This is just those buying tickets and so forth. Okay, it's growing, which means more and more people are going to Ipoh, going out of Ipoh and so forth. Okay. Okay, this is the growth trends for AMP in our terminal Aman Jaya, which means the advertising from 17.5 million to 20.1 million in 2017. You can see that's the growth. As the human traffic growth, your rates of selling, your rates of advertising can grow. Okay, the next one will be bus services. Okay, as what I mentioned to you, practically we have 171 buses. We have 2 operations. One is stage bus, one is express bus. Stage bus is those that ting bus. You go up one station, you can come down the next station. Express bus is those goes above 32 kilometers and so forth. Okay, for the express bus, our strategy is different. We don't run long distance. All right, we are not competing with other buses companies. Like, we don't do long distance because its business strategy is cost also. For example, from Ipoh, we don't go Singapore, we don't go Johor Bahru, we don't go Kelantan or Terengganu. We just go Ipoh KL, Ipoh Penang, Ipoh Lumut, Ipoh Cameron, and so forth. Short distance. The strategy is because we don't need to have big buses, we don't need to have 2 drivers, and our drivers is not paid by commissions run. They are paid by fixed salary, so they don't speed and so forth. So the safety is there, and we don't need to have a depot on the other side, which means my bus can go today and come back the same day. So it's all strategy and cost. So we don't want to compete with others operators, but other operators are renting their kiosks in my terminal, which means Terminal Aman Jaya You can from Ipoh, you can go throughout the whole peninsula, including Singapore. Other buses operating there, they just pay us rental, all right, and also wherever bus comes in, they pay us the bus entrance fee. So for the stage pass, as I informed you all, practically we have two funds the government is supporting in terms of the operation funds, in terms of the fare funds and so forth. We call the fare box risk, the risk passed to the government. Okay, so that able to sustain. All right. So this is the cost for my bus operations. You can see that practically fuel is the highest cost in any bus operations. Next will be my bus driver, and the third one is maintenance. So these three components is the main cost for bus operations. So it's not compared to terminal. This you can see that this is more difficult to handle compared to terminals. Okay, just to answer the questions that Cassidy has and is able to sustain or not, if you look into on the fuel part of it, for the question that Cassidy asked me just now, and one of the committee is the oil price global increase up and down affect us? Answer is no, because our diesel for the bus is subsidized. Government still subsidizes, so there's up and down. We are not affected. All right, answer your question. Okay. You have few questions now. You asked beforehand. For the labor, some analysts asked us, so I just answer for you. There's the new government say that the minimum wage 1,500. Does it affect us or not? My bus driver cannot be a Bangla. I cannot hire foreign workers. I have to hire local. So local, I've been paying above 1,500 already. You can't get bus driver below 1,500. Okay, plus OT plus 2,000. So with the new policies that the governments implement, above 1,500 impact us or not? No, we don't have foreign workers. Okay, we are not manufacturing. Manufacturing, yes. Okay, so these are the two things and so forth. Okay, petrol station, the third one. We have 4 petrol stations: Shell, BHP, and Ptrans. 2 Shells, 1 BHP, 1 Ptrans. You can see that practically the revenue is around 34% of my total revenue, but my GP is 3% only. Thank God that the government fixed the price. If not, I can tell you, yo-yo every week. Okay? If those single operating petrol stations, they were very badly hit during the previous policies. I'll tell you why. It's because before the price increase, you announce the day before, right? If it's announced increase, today, people will queuing up to your petrol station and pump until your tank is dry. Okay? Then your supplier won't send the truck to fill up the day before, because they know it's increasing. They'll send it the day after. If the price is going down, the truck will come first. Nobody will come and pump. The next day, price goes up. So that is happening. It's true. So imagine those days is before every month change. That's very bad. Then on every week change, and people is a little bit numb. But still people queuing up. But with this stability that we have, we foresee that it's better, at least as a margin. Okay, so there's petrol station. But bear in mind why we are really involved in it, because my bus run on diesel, as they say. So I need to have, we have been dealing with the petrol companies and so forth. We say why not be involved in it? Okay, and also sometimes my bus can pump at the station instead of no need to go other station and so forth. It's another way for us to control our bus. Financial highlights. Okay, you can see that there are a few charts here. Okay, what you can see is the revenue chart. This is the revenue chart. Okay, you can increase from 74 million to 106 million in 2017. The GP chart, Okay, the GP chart is from 32 million in 2015 to 43.9 million in 2017. It's a growing chart. Practically on this is the EBITDA, PATAMI, and PATAMI margin. You can see that practically year on year is growing up. Okay, is one of the contributions the major contributions will be from our terminal. This is the revenue. I'll just skip to this. This is more important. You can see that this is blue one is terminal, bus operation, and grey one is of petrol stations. You can see 2015, 29 million, 21 million, and 23 millions. In 2017, it grew to 40, 30, and 35.9. On year to year, this three segment grew. All right, and within this 3 years also, you can see the proportion of this chart is quite constant, which means the three segment grew together and it's quite constant. So it's well spread in terms of the risk. Okay, look into. Sorry, yeah, I press a little bit fast. Okay, this is the same chart presentation, but giving you the operating profit. Look at the blue one. You can see that the blue one, they will give you the best operating profits compared to the other two. But it complements. If you look into it, my bus can't stop. My bus needs to stop at terminal. My terminal need bus. My bus pump diesel. Sorry. So it complement. Okay. But so with looking into this chart, the strategy for the company is to duplicate the right things, which means is to build more terminals and do the right things and so forth. We'll tell you how we're going to do, how's our growth next. Okay, balance sheets, this is for accountants. This is cost structure. You can see the cost structure, the chart, is called the ballet, in a sense. The blue one is the lease. Then the for the bus operations is 39, while the petrol station is 55. Because the cost for petrol station is what we buy from the fuel. Okay, so while the revenue is constant growth, the profit is constant in terms of you can see that the contribution is from terminal, for the cost is the other way around. Okay, it's not rocket science here. We would like to stress that look, we are not high-tech companies where just now you can see that your technology sectors and so forth. What we are proud of, or what we always tell people is we are a stable company. Those funds that are looking into us, they're very fond of us, is they can expect stability. Okay, which means that there's no sudden ups or down. All right, and people don't owe me much. People go up to my bus, pays me cash. People go to my petrol station, pays me cash. You can see that 70% of my revenue from this two is very liquid. That's why we are paying dividends and so forth. Okay, and the advertising, rental, and so forth is a fixed income month to month to us because we outsource it. So it's fixed, which means that our bottom line is quite fixed. All right. So from there, we are able to predict the growth, and in order to have the next growth is to build the next terminal and so forth. We already have that. Okay, for dividend payout, those who are into our counters, since day one we listed, we've been paying 5 times of dividend already. So you all miss out a lot if you all don't buy this. All right, 5 times we have been paying dividends every quarter. My boss have a policy that he likes to reward everyone. He tried to do it once before Chinese New Year, one before Raya, one before Christmas. So the Indians here will ask me how about Deepavali, and say we'll try to improve. Okay, that's what we're doing. If you track us back, that's what we've been doing. Okay, so he says like reward this way lah. Okay, growth strategies. 3 strategies. First one is organic growth in terms of our capacity expansions, existing terminals. Instead of doing print advertising, we do digital advertising. In terms of rental rates, we are able to revise here on a yearly basis. In terms of numbers of visitors, of passengers, especially Muru Raya, the place that our terminal is and so forth, is growing and so forth. New terminals, that's what we would like to explain further. Margin expansion is more towards on AMP, revise and so forth, but the new terminal is where you can see the upside. Okay, what we have here is Terminal Kampar, next project. Up to today, we are around 70% completed. By end of this year, we are able to have our terminal ready. Any one of you from Kampar also? Questions? No, so easy to. Okay. Kampar, if some history, those who are Kampar, it's a mining town, it's a Chinese town, but this town is suddenly, when there's a heyday, is few in population, but after the mining gone down, the town was sleeping. All right, until Keita is there. Anyone from Keita? No, Okay, Keita and Utah is there. Because of that, the population boomed back. Currently in Keita itself, Utah and Keita, they say there's around 30,000 population there. Okay, this is Utah, and this is our terminal, which is less than 5 minutes drive. These are called the new town of Kampa. If you go there, the old town is the old town. The new town is look like PJ because the house is all well organized, and so it looks like PJ here. And what we have here, the next project that we have, we call our terminal is integrated terminal. So inside our terminal, the first ground floor is this terminal. We have cinema, we have retails, we have F&B, we have hotels, and we have bowling alleys and so forth. You know why we have that? Because 60-kilometer radius about surrounding this town, there's no more. There's Tesco, there's Giant, but practically there's no more. And people there, if they want to do shopping and so forth, they have to go to Ipoh or KL. And the students there, practically the students and so forth, they have nowhere to go. So students being students, I think most of us being students before, but different generations, but now generation students are more blessed in a way. They only have time to study, time to spend their father's money, and time to dating only. So but no place to do. So we provide them a place lah. That's how we cater our needs for them. And also Utah, if you follow Utah's news and so forth, they're going to build a 200 beds hospital, training uni hospital there. So when you have a hospital there, practically you have the doctors, nurses, and patients coming in and so forth. So that will encourage the towns to grow, and that's how we can sustain. And that's because our money, we generate money from rental, AMP, and so forth. So bus terminal is just a byproduct for us to have the integrated terminals. It's more like a TOD lah. Okay, just if you go there also, surrounding our terminal is all the shop lots and so forth. This shop lot is developed by Scanwolf, another listed company. You know, for them to attract us there to build a terminal and this integrated facilities, they sell us cheap the land below their net book value. And because when they sell us cheap below their net book value, they have to explain. So you can go and look into their announcement, search them, and they did an announcement to say why they sell us cheap. Why they sell us cheap? So that they can sell their property. So you go and see their brochures, they say, Terminal Kampa coming, property going to increase 100%. Please buy. Not me say, they say. So Scanwolf, that's how they market their products. And it's called TOD lah. Okay? My Dato Sri always say, mall nowadays very difficult to survive because there are good malls, bad malls, good malls. You say like bad malls because why people go online shopping, Lazada, Zalora. But you can't go online to transport yourself to the bus, man. You have to be there personally, man. So when you're there, you see, oh, there's a mall, and you might be using that. You cannot go online and sit on bus, man. So that's how the difference between mall and a terminal. Okay, so this is what we are offering. Appendix is snapshots. You can see that. Okay, my MD is the promoter is Dato Sri Cheong. Dato Sri Kor Kim Lit is also our major shareholders. Those of you are seasoned in this investment, you should know who is he. Okay, practically the rest I believe you all can see it from the your chart and so forth. Milestones, David is boring. Okay, this is our board of directors. Our chairman is Tan Sri Dato Chang. Practically then Dato Sri Cheong and Dato Cheong, they are brothers. Dato Sri is in this industry over 25 years from the bus operations, terminal operations. So he is very well known in terms in these industries. Dato Wan, Puan Azian, these are our Puan Azian is the CIO of Takafu, Chief Investment Officer, and Dato Wan is also another bankers, ex-bankers and so forth. Okay, these are awards. Okay, this is some pictures. And this is how we look like inside of my terminal. Sorry about the picture, it's not so clear. Okay, roughly, I think that's all. Yeah, thank you. I'm here to open questions. I'm on time. Okay, any questions? Since I'm here from Perak, I'm going back. Yeah.
Yeah. From my understanding, your A&P contribute mostly to the group revenue. Can I understand what is the tenure for each of your A&P?
Okay.
As in like your lease expiry profile. And what would be the forecast of the revision for the next 3 years?
Okay. So there are two parts from there. All right. The first part is to answer your question is practically we outsource our A&P, which means that our facilities to the agent. For that, we sign with them a yearly contract. All right. Between the agents and their clients, it very much depends on the list that they have. You understand? Huh? So for us, we don't deal with the end customers because we are not advertising companies. We are not good in that. We are terminal operators, bus operators. So we pass the risk to this agent, advertising agent. So to us, we say we give you the exclusive right. This is our money that we want. You pay us. You go and source for your own customers. You source for the terms. Okay, this is how all the A&P, in fact, is on a yearly basis. This is how airports have been doing, and this is how all the MRT is doing. So we don't deal with the end customers. We only deal with them. So and we are able to revise the rate on a yearly basis. Okay, of course we don't do it every year. Some years we have to make sure that they make money also. So good years, bad years. So there's upwards and downwards. The last revision was April this year, so there was a revision on that. For advertising, we revised around 5% upward. I hope I answered your question.
How about the forecast for the following 3 years?
Okay, forecast because it's a contract basis. To us, we have the options to revise every year. So, but it's always like that. The A&P is always on. They are looking for a team. The A&P, I'm just sharing their role. For the A&P agents, they always look for a team to sell their advertisement also. There's advertisement space. So they will definitely want to secure space to sell. All right. So how they secure is to make sure that they want to places that high traffic. Yeah, terminal is one of the high traffic, correct. So for that, they usually want to continue. And for us, we definitely say, okay, if the business, the flow is good, every year we can revise upwards 5%, 5%, 5%, and so forth. Okay, so for the next 3 years, as long as the terminal is there, the traffic is there, we foresee that we are able to continue to have the same rates and so forth. Okay, but on how they function, I'm not involved.
Just now you mentioned that what's the story behind the 4,000 or 2,000 peak count, something like that, on every day?
Oh. That's a story that I can just explain. Because we can secure every day 4,000 people pass through my terminal. That's how I can tell you that I can sell my advertisement. See, yeah? And advertisement is very simple. If it's a confined area, if you pass, every time that you come down from a bus, you hit the floor. The moment you come down from a bus, your head lifts up. Oh, you lift up. There's the space, and there's the highest space. So it's confined. It's called confined. It's catching. So that is how we sell. We tell them that every day there's at least on average 4,000 people will pass by my terminal. So 4,000 people will see your advertisement every single day. It's just like you on the highway. You see, especially the high traffic highway.
Have something more to say.
Sorry?
But that's fine. Yeah. I just thought there's something more to that.
No, that's how we sell because our A&P is suspense skin. Sorry. Because A&P is our main income and the thickest bottom line. That's why we have to make sure that that is addressed to you all. Sorry if I give you suspense. Lousy preview. But at least you pay attention. Alright, any questions?
Excuse me. Is there any plan to increase the number of passengers going through your terminal?
We can't.
You can't.
Okay, we hope that people will come, but we can. It's not that I can force you. Can you, for example, can say, hey, can you please, sir, can you go and take a bus there? You say, what you could do to me? I'm staying in KL. But what we can do say is very much depends on the economics and also the activities in that area, and also I'll say that especially in Ipoh or surrounding towns and so forth. But as long as the bus transport is overall growing, I mean the safety and so forth, then definitely the passenger increase. You see the passenger increase, but what as a terminal operators we can do is to provide the environment, safe environment for people to come and so forth. It's not like Pulu, like dirty types. If you go there, it's practically like shopping mall and so forth, clean and so on. Okay, last questions, because I think I have the gentleman first. But I'll go to you because you raise your hand so high. Meru is around 50,000 square feet. Kampa is 400,000 square feet, leasable area.
Then the second question is, other than Kampa, is there any further
Yes. Yes, we bought 2 more pieces of land. One is in Bidor, the other one is Chona. Bidor we have around 5 acres, Chona we have around 16 acres. But these 2 lands are still in the midst of transferring the title from commercial to terminal. So that's our CP. The rest we can't disclose. Of course we talk, but it's not announced, so sorry, we can't. Definitely we won't sit there, but we will grow. Last question, because she raised her hand very tall, that's very high.
I just want to understand about the fund subsidized by the government. This, can you elaborate a little bit more? Because how's the government subsidized? Is it a contract basis every 5 years? Because I asked this question is in Malaysia, in Selangor we have called bus Selangor or something, was really subsidized by the government. But I don't know, I actually operate by the state government, it's not subsidized by the government. I just wonder, is there a risk that the state government will take over this operation? Another one, you talk about the tax incentive. I just wonder what kind of tax incentive? Is it a capex or something? On the 6 ringgit entry fees, is there an increase every few years or how is it? And also the ROE of the company,
Okay.
is one of the criteria.
I regretted. 3 questions. Okay, last one. I answer one by one first. I answer the easiest one. 6 ringgit. Yes, there can be upward, but it's regulated. We need to get approval from SPAD, APAD lah. So it's up. We can revise upward, but with approval. Penang they charge 10 ringgit, just to let you know. Okay. Second questions. Easiest one, it will be the tax incentive. Tax incentive, as I explained just now, is more like ITA, investment tax allowance. Ours is ASP, where we are allowed to claim 60% of the capex to build a terminal or do enhancement to the terminal. For within the 5 years, whatever expenses, capex that we incurred, we are able to capture that 60%. And from the 60%, we are able to offset 70% of the income generated from the terminal until you finish it. Okay. Currently, we have 128 million unutilized. Okay, you can utilize it until you finish. If you make 120 million a year, you finish the year lah. If you make 10 million a year, you deduct 10 million, then it's 12 years. So for the new terminal that we have, we also applied and we got it, which means there's although 60% of 128 million are able to be added on to my 108 million. So it's adding on. So if let's say we're going to have a new terminal, what we'll do, we'll apply again.
Which means it's on top of the capital allowances.
Yes, on top of the capital allowance. She is an accountant, that's why she knows CA. Okay, the last questions. Okay, last one, no more. I need to go back. Last question is the subsidies. Subsidies for bus function differently. Ours is a contract that we signed with SPAD before it is abolished. Now it's APAD. It's signed 8 years with them, practically to provide on certain routes is under My Bus program. In the country, there are only 5 states, 5 towns are enjoying it. And the funds that they got it is under the Malaysia plan number 2. I can't remember what's the plan. So the fund is around 400 million allocated for this project, where SPAD will give us the kilometer run. okay, which means they decide the routes that you should run. That routes, one day you must run 5 times. What time, you have to run. So when you apply the routes, it's GPS, okay, it's GPS. You apply the route, you come back, whatever fare that you collected, you give a report to SPD, you pass back to them. SPD will pay us for the kilometer run. Okay, a contract has been signed that cost plus a certain percentage, I can't disclose, it's in C, but it's cost plus. So on the day we apply, raining, nobody comes up to my bus, I still make money, but I need to apply. So SPD checked by GPS. Okay, so your question where Selangor States or Penang States is giving is where it's called free bus. Okay, Penang is giving free bus. That people goes up to my bus, they don't need to pay a single cent. All right. Well, and in return, the government pay a fixed sum of money to the bus operator. In Penang, it's Ptrans, Rapid Penang, in KL, Rapid KL, and so forth. So, if let's say that plans is implemented in Perak, because now it's the federal government is the same, it benefited us more because we have a fixed income. We just manage our cost, so we don't need to worry. Nobody comes up to my bus on the day, man. Okay, so that's last time. Previously, state, federal, different. You can see Penang and Selangor giving that to the public, the rakyat. So it's a good program. So Perak government now is the same government, so they might look into that. So if they do that, it benefits us. So we don't mind. With that, thank you. All right.